Secretary of State he wants a long ceasefire. That will not get rid of Hamas once and for all. That's the reason I cited the poll. I know polls are polls, but the fact is it's a good poll. But 3/4 of Americans want Israel to get rid of Hamas. Most of the countries in the Middle East want Israel to get rid of Hamas. Why is the Biden administration opposing this?
I think simply you could look at that again, this question. College campuses don't, or at least the college campuses that they're unfortunately paying attention to. This is absolutely political. These are political calculations that are layering upon what should be national security objectives, but they're not. They're looking at political security objectives, and that's how they get to the conclusions that they're getting to.
Mr. Hurd, Kevin Hurd, they have, through this silly trial with no ends, no objectives, no nothing. They're holding up Mr. Trump, as he just said. They are stopping him from campaigning. Even with that, he's ahead in the polls, and including the swing states. But this is election interference. I think it comes straight from the White House. What's your thought on this, sir?
Well, I think it's no question that's what's going on. I think you look at election obstruction. When you look at the Biden DOJ supporting this through the Manhattan DA, what they're doing to the president of the United States, sitting there, he's right. And to have be fined for violating a so-called gag order, it's nothing pertaining to the trial. It's about what they're saying about him politically, and to be able, you can't even defend yourself. It's much like what we're saying right now. This issue of First Amendment is under complete assault in America today, and it's at the very peak of this is President Joe Biden that's allowing all this to happen and actually facilitating it, in my opinion, and many others, what's going on with President Trump.
Brian Mast, on that point that Kevin Hurd just mentioned, I'm a cynic because I notice, as so many others have, the former number 3 guy in the Justice Department, his name's Calandra, I believe, he comes in to run this trial. He was the number 3 guy in the Justice Department. Now he comes in as an assistant DA in order to run the trial, because everybody knows Alvin Bragg doesn't know anything about the law and has been a terrible DA. So this guy's doing it. What I'm getting at, Brian, is I think this is directed by the White House counsel's office, and by the president himself. That's the cynic in me. Do you have a thought on it, sir?
I don't think you're wrongly cynical. I think there's one poisonous tree out there. It's the Democrat Party. Each one of these trials is fruit off of that same poisonous tree, in the same way that in the last election cycle, they used every social media outlet that they could to bury things, to hide things. Now they're taking every outlet and saying, hey, we can come up with these witch hunt trials, and we could put these on the news. We can bleed him off of the campaign trail, or we can bleed him from financial resources with all of these trials. But one way or another, they're going to bleed him, and they're accomplishing that.
And, Kevin Hurd, they want to do the same thing with, so-called special prosecutors, guy Jack Smith. They want to do the same thing. They want to tie Trump up in court. After this trial, they'd love to tie him up on the J6 trial or the documents trial in Florida, et cetera, et cetera. Keep him off the campaign trail because he's so darn good on the campaign trail. The odd thing is, so far in the polls, he's done great. So people are watching and listening to what he says. But this is the worst election interference in our history, is it not?
It is, and certainly when you see what President Biden is looking at, he has got to figure out how to keep President Trump, as you said, off the campaign trail. But what he's found out is that President Trump will outwork him every single day, every minute of the day, going every free moment he has away from the courtroom. He's going around the country, especially in those 7 critical states. But when you look at Joe Biden and his border policy, his economic policy, his energy policy, now his foreign policy, he's failing in every single one of those. And the American people are saying, we need a strong leader. We know we're going to get with President Trump. Let's get him back in office.
Yes, sir. Well put.
Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe. I will be back on YouTube with more exclusive content, so stay tuned.